Okay guys, it's been a little while, but here's my breakdown for what is arguably the biggest fight in UFC history. Justin Gaethje versus Khabib Nurmagomedov, interim champ versus champ. Guys, at the end of the video, I'm going to give you my contest details if you haven't figured it out through the tweet. And I'll let you guys know how you can win $100 via PayPal. There'll be 10 winners. On to the fight. Pretty much everyone knows this. I don't think I'm breaking any ground here. There are two main facets of the fight that need to be handicapped. Two real questions. How will Khabib deal with Justin's striking? And how will Gaethje deal with Khabib's all-world wrestling? Now, we'll start with the wrestling first. Khabib is the most dominant wrestler in mixed martial arts. And in MMA wrestling, where there is the element of strikes, and you can't just be completely in a low crouch with a low center of gravity and just try to prevent the shot. Khabib mixes it up very well. He does get some of it. He does manage to push all of his opponents up against the fence. He does that generally with a quick barrage of strikes. He comes in a bit unorthodox, swinging wildly, and transitions to the takedown. Once he has his opponents up against the fence, he's as good as it gets. Can Justin avoid being taken down up against the fence? I'm not sure. Frankly, I don't think so. If Khabib spends a long period of time holding Justin up against the fence, I think eventually he will wear him down. He will take him down. Now, I do not know if it will be neat takedowns. And what I mean by that is we have never seen Gaethje off his back. He hasn't spent a second in his UFC career in the guard. We've never seen it. His counter wrestling is that good. Now, even if Khabib does manage to hold him up against the fence and take him down, not unlike Conor round one, or Poirier even the first couple of rounds, that still will be tough for Khabib to finish him there. Justin will battle and will try to scramble and, again, reset the next round, standing up. Khabib really needs to get him down, flattened out completely. And to do that, his best path is probably out in the open. The problem is it's extremely tough to get a D1 wrestler out in the open, especially if Khabib does start getting a little tired. We saw him up against Al Iaquinta, who came in on a day's notice. Rounds 4 and 5, there was nothing doing. Khabib couldn't get him down. And Al Iaquinta is nowhere near the striker of Justin Gaethje. So now, can Khabib get Justin moving back up against the fence? Now, Justin, his style of striking doesn't really allow for that. Justin is a forward pressure fighter. He comes in with the high guard. He will take a couple of shots and look to counter. But unlike earlier in his career, he's not that aggressive. But if you look at the film, Justin never takes more than one step back. It will be one step back, look to counter, one step back, slip, move to the side. It'll be very tough, in my opinion, for Khabib to force him back up against the fence. And I believe Khabib will need at least 3-4 times throughout the fight to have him up against the fence to win this fight. Now, in the striking, Khabib actually has very underrated defense. He has a good jab. His striking is a bit unorthodox, and he's very good at, we saw him get clipped by Johnson and Poirier. He's very good at running in the striking game. Unlike his wrestling, which is all pressure, his striking game is jab, head back, straight up, but back. He has decent footwork, and Justin's going to have to avoid chasing him and overextending. But I do believe that Justin will not be taken down in the open. I believe it'll be tough for Khabib to get him up against the fence. And I believe Justin's striking will really wear on Khabib. He will look to mix in those leg kicks when Khabib is on the back foot. And I believe we may be looking at a late stoppage for Justin, or even a decision win. Wouldn't surprise me. Round 4 and 5, if you want to mess around with those props, they're limited to a couple $100, but you can get Justin at plus 8,000 round 5 and plus 5,000 round 4, you can, to add some juice to those props, you can take the TKO props, because Justin's not, I don't see Justin submitting Khabib round 4 or 5. I think it'll be a great fight. I'm really looking forward to it. I think Justin will win this fight. All right, guys. After the fight, retweet the tweet now. After the fight is over, if Justin does win, put a reply, and I will randomly select 10 winners for $100 each. Via PayPal, you must follow to be eligible to win. Good luck. Let's cash.